Hello, everyone. Welcome. The hit list. Well, it's that time of the month where the hit list comes around, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I hold in my hot little hand here the Song of the Week selectees from the past month, and the month of March is the month I'm talking about. This is April, so that's what we're doing today. We're selecting a band of the month from the month of March. We had 5 artists get their song selected as Song of the Week during that time period. So we've got a good group of music up ahead of us to hear today. And I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that. I want to remind everybody that the hit list is brought to you every month by our friends over at the Live to Play Network. That's at L2pnet.com. So it's L2pnet.com. You want to make sure you go there for reviews on all sorts of gear and all the music information you'd want to know, whether you're getting into the business as an indie, whether you're already signed to a label or not. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you're doing. Go over there if you're interested in music because they know what they're talking about. I'm over there at least once a day. A good time was had by all, and that's the way it is. And I think Ian is out there typing Pink Floyd lyrics in the chat room right now. I don't know what's going on there. What is going on there, Ian?
Oh, well, I was seeing if anyone's in chat, and I thought I'd do it in a stylish Pink Floyd kind of way.
Well, as long as you're happy with that, I don't see anything wrong with it, I suppose.
I couldn't get lasers or flying pigs, so...
Yeah, you had to go for papier-mâché butterflies.
Yes, and tie-dye green backdrop.
Isn't that more the hippie way anyway, the papier-mâché kind of environmental-friendly thing?
Well, the tie-dye is definitely hippie, isn't it, either way? So, yeah. Papier-mâché, I mean, that is a good waste of flour. I mean...
Well, you
could feed a starving country for months on that.
Paper is
instead of making art out of it.
Paper is edible, so you could eat the butterflies after you finished using them.
Really, would you want to eat a sheet of paper, Rich?
You guys are just weird.
I don't know, Tom. You think hippiness is weird? That's okay. I agree with you.
No, I think hippiness is fine, especially if it looks good on you. But eating flowers is not a hippie. That's a crazed vegetarian.
No, not flowers, but flour as in stuff you make bread out of.
Not the ones you wear in your hair.
Yeah, not the ones you wear in your hair.
Ah, okay.
So how are you, Tom? How are things going for you? I know it's been, 3 days since we last talked on MSI.
Yeah, just doing the do, still moving miles of cable around, planning. This time we're planning it so we only move them once.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that way when you move the studio or rearrange things, you're going to have to move them again anyway, aren't you?
Well, you know me, and I'll get another piece of gear and have to do it all over again.
I know, that's the joy of running a studio.
Well, yeah, it keeps me young.
That's what you want to make yourself believe, and you go on doing that. How are you, Ian?
I'm well, I think. Yeah, tired. Yeah, busy. I had a jam night on Monday, which was we do a monthly jam down at a place called the Angel in Hayes, which was an interesting night. We had a bit of cajon madness.
Now, for everybody who's not familiar, tell them what the cajon is.
A box.
Yeah.
It's a percussive instrument. It's South American from the 19th century, and it's basically a box. Really, is just a wooden box that you can sit on, and it's got a very thin sort of front to it that you can then get different tones out of. And traditionally, they've got a snare in that's made of a classical guitar A string in a V shape on either side. So you get a snare sound and you can get a sort of kick sound out of it, as well as sort of snappy sort of sounds from the side and bits and pieces like that.
It's the original beatbox.
It is, yes. It's a box. It is a box you beat.
All right. Well, that, makes sense, I suppose. So, it's all good from that regard. As I said at the opening of this broadcast, we've got a number of songs to listen to. We have 5 in total from the month of March, and I want to get to it if we can, because there are just so many of them. I don't want to feel like we're rushing through the show or anything, but I want to make sure we get them all in, of course. So,
all right. Well, I vote number 3. Good night. Goodbye.
Thank you, Tom.
No,
Thank you. I appreciate that, but Tom's just wanting to rush through everything. That's okay, Tom. I don't mind. I mean, I'm all for it if you want to. I mean,
he needs a wee.
That could be.
No, I just do that during the song.
I was going to say it's never stopped him before. It's just one of those things. All right, let's get right down to it, shall we? Let's start with song number 1. Song number 1 is from the 2nd of March, which is, of course, the first Sunday of March. Dave Carrera was with us when we had Sammy Ride with Das Blackout and Brittany Bexton up on the show. And Brittany Bexton and her song Freefall is what was selected as the song of the week. Let's remind everybody what that sounded like as we listen to it right now. This is Freefall by Brittany Bexton on the hit list. Enjoy it, everyone.
Peeled out the driveway, gravel and sparks were flying like a light about to light a fuse. Sped off to the middle of nowhere with the thrill of getting somewhere. Finally stopped and we're moving faster, losing myself in you. Caught up in a rush, heart speeds up every time that we touch. So high, so alive, lost in the moment when you look at my free fall. We're tangled up in the afterglow. Let's stay right here and not let go. Your kiss makes me lose control, and your love makes me wanna go again. Caught up in a rush, heart speeds up every time that we touch.
That is Freefall by Brittany Bexton on today's hit list. Let's bring the guys in, find out what they thought about that after hearing it again. I know everybody liked this song the first time around. Hearing it again, what are your thoughts on it, Tommy?
Well, I still like it. I'm still nitpicking. I really don't like hard pans on the opening and closing guitar. There's more interesting ways of doing it than that. And again, she's got a great voice, slick production, good use of stereo, great track. Maybe the only thing would have been, a little bit more vocal accompaniment, if a breath mint accompaniment. Some backgrounds that were there, but in singular form, a little bit more just to give it a chummy feeling. But otherwise, it's really slickly produced. I liked it.
All right. How about you, Ian? Hearing it a second time around, what do you think?
Yeah, I do like this track. As Tom says, it's slickly produced. It's well mixed. It's just, everything's there. But I don't know. There is the little bit of something for me that is familiar, but a little bit too familiar, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that sort of Sheryl Crow edge about it, which I like. But I don't know. I just feel that she could do something a little bit more original. But still, this is a great song. But I'd like to hear more.
All right. Now, I want to apologize up front to everybody because our panelist from the Live to Play Network is not able to be with us. We had someone else from the Live to Play Network lined up. Unfortunately, they had to cancel at the last minute because of the National Association of Broadcasters conference going on out in Las Vegas. And, of course, it is what it is, as our artist of the month from last month would say.
Why aren't we there? We're broadcasters.
I know it. We weren't invited.
Why haven't you
You know how much it costs to go to the NAB?
No.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, more than we want to pay. Anyway, so in their stead, I'm going to be sitting in and explaining what I think about this. Now, I appreciate what you guys say. You guys hit on a couple of things that I'd really like to see in this song as well. Now, Tom, tell me if you think this would be a good idea. You remember Helen Reddy and the backing vocals she used to have on some of her songs? I think backing vocals like that would go very nicely on this particular track.
Yeah, well, anything extra would have just, brought it up another level, and the background that was there was still just a little more immersed than I thought. And she doesn't need vocal support, but it would have been just better.
That's what I think as well. And in regards to what Ian had said, something was missing, and I think I know what it is. At the end of the song, rather than climaxing and making that song just go uphill and, just beat you upside the head, and that's where it felt like it was leading, what it did is it slowed down and kind of drifted away. That's the thing that kind of left me wanting on this. That's the only two things I can say about this song that left me in a kind of a lurch. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, it's not so much that for me. I know where you're coming from. It's just I think, the songwriting was quite safe. I think there's more in there, push the boundaries a little bit.
All right. Well, that makes sense. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Now I wanted to mix them up with y'all and see what y'all thought. See if I was so far off base I should never do this again or what.
You do it well when we let you.
Yeah, well, I try. I keep notes. See? I've got a pen and paper and everything.
They don't exist anymore. They're relics.
I know. That's why I don't have anything written on the paper, because I don't want to waste it.
Random.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way that goes. That went over like a lead balloon.
I
right.
retired mine to the Science Museum,
It is? Your book is now in a museum?
No, my pen.
Your pen. You kept the book, but the pen's in a museum.
That's
Imagine
right.
That. Yeah. I don't know why. All right. Song number 2 on the hit list is from the 9th of March, when we had Jimmy Mowry, our Artist of the Year, as a panelist. And during that week, we heard from Smiley Mikey, John Sullivan, and 13. And this was a unique and interesting week for us. 13 and his track Remember Me was selected as the song of the week. And I think this kind of caught everybody off guard, really, when I look back on it. Of course, you guys may have a a different thought on that, but the song caught me off guard. I'll tell you that. What do you guys remember off that before we hear it again?
I remember it was full of expletives, which were just about edited.
Just about, exactly. They were just about edited.
Yeah, that was a little lazy on the mute switch or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're right. He could have done a better job with that. But...
And without being too critical before we hear the song, but I mean, it really, really, really is so close to Eminem that it was a bit too close for my liking.
Yeah. What about you, Tom? Was that a real issue?
Actually, it was. I mean, it's like Bruno Mars. He wrote this one song. Everybody said, "Oh, he ripped off Sting," and he said, "So." The worst thing I've done is written a very good Sting song. Screw you,
There you go. That sums it up nicely. All right, here it is. This is 13 with his track called Remember Me on today's hit list. Enjoy it, everyone. We'll be right back.
Dirt chain. Yup. Remember me? Yo, it's 13, born up in Buffalo, raised in the Bronx, born with the wolves, raised with the dogs, moved out at 4 months, cause I had no choice, young little Puerto Rican brother with no voice, I got taken from my mom's cause she got a bunch of problems, I got a bunch of problems too. Everybody talks behind my backs and they talk a lot of smack. Everybody staring at me, off you. 5th grade was the bomb. I remember everything so clearly. I remember my first prime. Yo, mom, I was never mad at you. I was only mad at myself. My father is the reason for the call. Remember me, father, you called me when I was 10. Drunk as you said you called me back, but you never called me again. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you to think that you can fuck with me? I'll fuck with you and take your family and turn them burgundy. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog. Everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog. Everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. I migrated from the Bronx all the way to Westchester, all the way to Pleasantville. Dog, I'ma keep it real, wrong move, cause every fucking little thing I did, police officer harassing me cause I'm a and I was homeless. Yes, brother, living in my whip, and I was happy as a motherfucker living in my grave. I moved in with a couple of people, oh yes I did. Even 2 of them let me lay my head where they live. Beautiful town, everybody looking around, they like, who the heck is Puerto Rican stomping my ground? And I never knew they were mad at me. Everybody in my circle backstabbing me like they graduated academy. Now what's with this anatomy? I know what you up to punk, you want me to get angry, so I cap assault and battery. Your Majesty, I know you really wanna marry me. Reverse psychology, look at me charging up your battery. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. Schizophrenia mixed up with bipolarism got me flipping every millisecond, thinking something different. Look at me, I don't wanna look at you. Son, there's people in my family that's playing Capico. I'ma play it as I go. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Yo, I know. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know. Remember me, cause I surely remember you. Remembering everything that you motherfuckers put me through. They fake, dog, everybody's fake, Paul. Everybody, let me tell you something right now. Yo, I know.
All right. right, that is song number 2 on the hit list. It's called Remember Me from 13, and that was Song of the Week back in the 9th of March. Tommy, let's go to you and get your thoughts on hearing this track again.
Well, I'm going to go at it since this is the second time around. I noticed some things that I didn't notice before. All the references to Eminem aside. The build on this, it seems that the way he differentiates between the verse and the chorus is, a bigger vocal. And the music stays pretty much the same. Yeah, the strings come in and stuff. It could have built more musically to keep up with it vocally. And that kick drum works in the chorus. It should have been more somber, softer, rounder, and deeper in the verses to have a more striking contrast between one and the other. And because by the end of the song, that constant hard, I guess it was a 909 mixed with something, it's just too hard. It needed a variance. It needed something to play off of. And musically, it's very simplistic. It's dark. It's good. It's all done good. The guy raps really good. He's got really strong lyrics and stuff. I think he could have done a little bit more on the production end to help differentiate him from the Eminem references.
Now, I kind of, to let you know what I think about this. I've heard this as many times as you guys have now, at least. And the Eminem thing, you're right. I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't pull away from it. It's just there in your face the whole time. It's great. I love listening to it. I think he should send this track to Eminem. Honestly, say, here, dude, take it, do something with it. Not that I can't because I have, but, that's just something I think he should do. I think that'd be very cool. It's a great track. I enjoy listening to it. I didn't notice the drums the way Tommy did. Maybe that's just me, though. Maybe I was more wrapped up in the lyrics of it and didn't pay attention to it as a whole. What do you think, Ian? Hello,
Oh,
Ian.
sorry, what? Sorry, my tea's gone cold. I wonder why.
I have no
I got out of bed alone.
idea.
It is. It's Stan, isn't it? It's Stan. Eminem Stan. That's all I could hear. So I was listening to that track was that Dido bit. Going sort of underneath it, and he does do it so well, and I think that's the frustrating part for me is that this guy's got talent, and I just wish he'd taken a step aside from that Eminem thing and
What would he have
done
done, though?
I don't know, but that's where you've got to be creative with these things. I mean, we've all got bands we're into, we've all got people we look up to from a musical point of view, and maybe want to try and emulate a little bit of. Which is great, but, there's emulating and then there's just blatantly doing the same thing. And I just can't hear past this track except for that Eminem reference. And it's a shame because I want to hear what this guy can do himself. He's obviously talented. He can obviously do this very well in his own right. So I want to hear what he's got to do.
Well, I certainly hope he sends us another track. I really do.
I do as well because, I mean, personally, from a mix point of view, I don't know a lot about that sort of the mixing from the point of view of this sort of music, but it worked and everything sat together. The vocal was up there nicely. I could hear everything. There was nothing obtrusive in the mix for me, but it's just that I just want to hear what this guy can do without that Eminem edge.
All right, well, that sounds cool to me. I look forward to that. Let's go to our third song in the list this time around. Song number 3 was from the 16th of March. Our good friend from Compose.com, Mr. Steve Gardner, was on the panel that week. And that week we listened to Justice Broadshaw, The Junkyard Angel, and Chasing Creation. And their track, Whose Generation, was actually selected Song of the Week. So let's take a listen right now to Chasing Creation and their track, called Whose Generation on this month's hit list. Here it is, everyone.
Twice, this is mine. Come on, Scoop. Well, you know you're getting faster than that, man. Now, come on, man, faster.
And that is Chasing Creation with their track called Whose Generation. I hear it playing someplace, but that's all right. That's okay. Let's go to Ian and find out what he thinks. Ian, what do you think of Chasing Creation?
That was me. I had a player issue and it wouldn't play on the player I normally use, so I had to revert to the other one. So I was a little bit later starting than most.
I gotcha. Well, at least you listened to it again. So
no, I did. I remember this track. I mean, you know, this is a track that I love in a kind of way that I just love that groove and that vibe that this band's got. You know, mix-wise, production-wise, yeah, it needs work. But, you know, this is this sort of jam band in there just having a smoke, having a beer, and playing some rock and roll. And I like the vibe. I really like the vibe. That groove. The bass player's got a lovely tone, and he sits in that groove nicely. And you know, the change when they change it up into the solo with the sort of breakout, and the guy going, "Oh, wait a minute," and moving on. You know, really good feel. I just would like to hear that captured a bit more produced from the point of view of stereo guitars, and I would like to hear that vocalist doing a little bit more than he is, because I like what he's doing. So, you know, bring it in, make it more of a song, arrange it a bit better. And you know, just get that recording a bit, tie that recording up a bit, and it's a really great vibe though.
Yeah, I thought, to be honest, I thought pretty much the same thing. I mean, I like what they did. I had a problem that it was not finished. You know, it was a complete song, but it wasn't a finished song, if you know what I mean. I'd like to have heard it a little bit more clear, pristine, you know, a little bit more produced than the way it was. I think they're fun. There is no doubt. I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun with it, listening to that part, the change up. And the guy said, no, forget that and move on. That was great fun. But again, it was a little bit too underdone for me. So what do you think, Tommy?
Well, I think the guest might have said this, that it's a great opening song for their act, you know, to introduce themselves. I really enjoy this. The bass player's just driving and popping, and the drummer's hitting. And this, I think I said originally, it sounded like a jam between bands going switching sets at Woodstock. It's got that type of rock feel. The guy has got a great sounding rock voice. I agree with Ian. I'd like to hear it again. I'd like to hear this done in the studio with very few changes, just enough to make it seem structured, but keep that raw live feel and well, and which they do. And I think it'd be a very exciting track.
I definitely agree with you. My mic was muted and I couldn't hit the button fast enough. I don't know.
I thought my mic was muted.
No, it was mine.
I thought everyone had died. Oh, sorry.
No, that was last week when something went out in the equipment. I don't know what it was. But anyway, that was, again, Chasing Creation from the 16th of March with Whose Generation, as we move on now to the 23rd of March when Dave Bryce was on our panel. And we heard from Aidan Logan and the Dolls along with Zallen. And Zallen was, his track, Which Way Up, was selected as Song of the Week for that week. So let's take a listen to that right now. This is Which Way Up by Zallen. Enjoy it, everyone.
Realizing you can do that.
That track is called Which Way Up, and that is by Zallen. And I got to tell you guys, as was said in the chat room, Ian said it, monkeys meet Bowie, monkeys meet Beatles meet Bowie, whatever you want to call it. In my mind, there are a lot of things that are very familiar about this track. The time of it, 3 minutes, 21 seconds. Very safe in that regard. It reminds me of the early 70s, late 60s. Everything was right around 3 minutes, 15, 3:20, whatever. The sound of it. The thing I didn't like about it is all the effects on the voices. Other than that, it was put together very well. It sounded very good. It sounded like there were a lot of effects even on the music to me, but that may have been my headphones or the fact that I'm getting old and don't hear so well anymore. But that has a lot to say about it as well. Ian?
I said pardon.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you think?
Do you know what? Listening to this again, I do like this track, and it is Monkeys meets Bowie, isn't it, really? A lot of good stuff going on. I agree. Do you know what? Listening back to it now, I'd really like to hear a more contemporary mix of this. So less of the 70s influence on the mix and a more contemporary mix, but keeping the song pretty much how it is. Because I think, with the right treatment, you could make this quite nicely modern, if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. It really does. What about you, Tom?
Well, I like the vibe. It's got the Monkees, Beatles, Bowie. And, we got a hell of a show here. Monkees, Beatles, Bowie, Eminem. Who's next? My only, I think they would have captured the whole kit and caboodle if they had gone ahead with the Beach Boys thrown in and done much more vocal layering. I mean, the production is always evolving and changing. I like that. The mix was a little dull. It could have been a little bit more modern in that respect. But there's a lot of great production and little pieces going on in here. And if they, especially the breakdown into Which Way Up, if they had really gone the full route with the entire, like I said, the Beach Boys vocal production on it, I think even without bringing it more modern production styles in, it would have caught. I love it. I like it. We got a bunch of great songs in here this month. And it's going to be tough because, there's mixed issues with this one. And, one's a little too safe. One's a little too Eminem. And they're just, and we have to nitpick because they're all that good.
That's very true. And you're going to have to nitpick a little bit more as well because we have one more song that we have on the hit list still yet to hear, which is from the 30th of March when John Hodgson from G4 Software was on our panel. We heard that day from Billy Lord. We heard from Howdell and also our song of the week, which was Running Through by Milena Tomic. No relation to our very own Tom, who is in some circles known as Alana Tomic. So anyway, we're not going to even open up the can of worms, I don't think. Unless you want to open it, Tom.
No, me and her mom went through that already.
All right.
Fix.
Anyway, here it is. This is Running Through from Milena Tomic on the hit list. See, I muted myself early. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Here it is. This is Running Through. That is track number 5 on the hit list today. And we're going to go over to the guys and find out what they thought about it. So, Ian or Tom, one of you jump in here. What did you think about Milena Tomic's running through this time around?
This is strange. The last time this track played, right? As it started to play, it started to really rain outside. Yeah, and then as the track finished, the rain stopped. And this time round, exactly the same thing happened.
You know, Ian, let me ask you this. Are the curtains on your window drawn or open?
Of course they're drawn. It's 11:15 at night here, you know.
All right. So you're going by just what you heard, right?
Yes,
okay.
Purely.
All
yes.
right. And if that's the case, I got to tell you, everywhere in the world it was raining during this track.
Really?
Yeah, that's how powerful a pianist she is.
That's drama for you.
It is.
But
seriously, though, what do you think?
Drama is a good place to start a serious review. And this piece is full of it. And that's, I think we said last time, you know, we had a couple of tracks that were quite well produced and sort of a bit more commercial. But from my point of view, this really does tug at the old heartstrings. It's got an edge of something which takes me back to my childhood. That sort of music box type scary thing that was sort of used in children's horror films and stuff like that. But yeah, Twilight Zone, that was one of them. And yeah, I still like it. And now I've heard it again, it's got that sort of same tug at me, which is sort of quite appealing.
All right. Before we go over to Tom, Pinky out in the chat room said, by the way, as an amateur pianist, this is very hard to do. I responded, I have a cat. He says, I have one too, but she's not this good. What do you think, Tommy?
Well, yeah, if you took a cat and rolled it across the keys, maybe. Yeah, this one on pure emotion during its week. The other songs I voted for, I think, number 2 or 1, I think.
Number 1, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. That's very well done. It does make you feel something, which all music should, and we all agreed. I just didn't think it was a strong enough contender to make it when matched up with songs of the month. And I maintain that. I mean, it's well played. It's well thought out. She plays well. It's got that mystique of drama horror, and it does make you feel things. Even if it's only the hairs on the back of your neck rising, like, look behind you, quick.
And the rain.
And the rain. But, yeah, this one, I like purely for creative reasons.
All right. I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of this one. Now, it is interesting. There is no doubt. There is a dramatic aspect to it. This is why I'm not on the panel, by the way. I didn't really care for this one. And I got to tell you why. I've heard what Pinky says out in the chat room. I've heard what you both say. She's a talented pianist. I don't know. I really don't know. If this is all I have to go by, I'm going to say, I don't know. That's my case, and I'm sticking to it. So I'd like to hear something else from Milena to really decide, but this piece doesn't do it for me, so I can't say anything else about it. It's just my opinion, though, and of course I'm wrong all the time because the panelists voted it Song of the Week, as it says on this card, and they know much more than I. So there you have that. All right, gentlemen, we have the time to go through these things right now where we have to select one of these tracks, one of these 5 that we've heard, as the band or artist of the month. So just to recap for everybody, we just heard Running Through by Milena Tomic. We heard before that Zallen's Which Way Up. The song Whose Generation by Chasing Creation. Prior to that, we heard Remember Me by 13. And at the beginning of the show, we heard Brittany Bexton's song Freefall. All right, gentlemen, what do you think? I mean, I know what one I'm selecting, and it's not the one you think it is.
Well, I'm going to ask you, Rich, seeing as you don't normally do this, seeing as we normally don't allow you to have an opinion, basically because you're scared that Tommy will come around there and show you what a real opinion is.
He's the only one who could, because he's the only one in the States.
I could, I just can't be bothered. I think you should go first. Don't you agree, Tom?
I absolutely do.
All right, I will go first. I'm going to select Brittany Bexton's Freefall as my selection for Artist of the Month. And I do that because, having listened to all of these again, I can see Freefall and the kind of music that Brittany is showcasing with that being presented in venues, dance clubs, albeit in this case a country club, a country dance club, or whatever the case might be. But I can see that more aptly than some of the others. Again, we talked number 13. Before the show, he was my hands-down winner. But the more we talked about it and the more I listened to what everyone had to say, I tend to agree. It's more of a tribute kind of thing to Eminem than anything is what it appeared to be. But I still love that song. There is no way around that. And Brittany Bexton's track, I think, is the most done for my likes, and I like that. So that's where my vote is going, with Brittany Bexton.
Ian?
I'm undecided. I mean, I really do want to say that Remember Me by 13 should go through. because it's great. He's talented, and I like the production. Mix might be could be a bit better, but I really like what he's done there. But I still have issues getting past the whole Eminem thing. I don't know, Tom, help me out.
Well, for as far as all around ready to go, least fixing, I have to. And I'm totally amazed, I have to agree with Rich on number 1. I mean, number 3, I totally love. The energy of number 4. The energy of number 3. Number 4, I totally loved. Number 2, again, there's too much in my head to going against it. And, just slap me on my horse and set me a-running, but country music, and it's always done well, and this is done very well.
Well, my opinion is
still something we want.
Look, I'm going to go for Remember Me by 13. As much as I have a problem with that, I think that guy has got talent, and I'm going to look at some more of his stuff, to be honest, because if I can get past that whole Eminem reference on this one track, I think I'm going to enjoy some of his other stuff.
All right, fair enough. And, one of the things here on the hit list and on MSI, MSI especially, we never know what we're going to hear, but on the hit list we do, because they're songs from the previous month. But that doesn't mean we necessarily hear other tracks by the artist. So obviously, if you're an artist out there and want to get your tracks heard, please send your tracks to MSI Music Scene Investigation.com. Submit at the top of the page. We do the hit list every second Wednesday of the month. Our regular MSI show is on Sundays, every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 or 9 p.m. GMT, and we look forward to seeing you this Sunday on MSI. Our hit list winner is Brittany Bexton, and the song is called Free Fall. We're going to play Out With Her right now, so congratulations to her. We'll be getting in contact with her because every hit list winner wins a prize package from MSI and our partners, the Live to Play Network, Indie Music Bus, and Worldwide Indie Radio. So we'll definitely be getting in touch with her at some point in the next day or so. So stay tuned for that, Brittany, and please check your email.
You guys just went for her because she's a girl.
No, we didn't. I actually like the song.
You fancy
Sorry.
her?
No, I don't. I don't know what she looks like. I have no clue. I have no idea. All
That's
right.
the only reason why he can still talk. If he had seen the video of her perform, he would have never been able to get through the review.
That's exactly right.
Point taken, Tom. Yeah, point taken.
It's exactly the case. All right, this is Brittany Bexton and her track Freefall as we play out on the hit list. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll talk to you again on Sunday on MSI. Thanks for being here. Have a great one.
Bye.
Peeled out the driveway, gravel and sparks were flying like a light about to light a fuse. Sped off to the middle of nowhere with the thrill of getting somewhere.